I got to keep the same energy for Camron suing J. Cole that I did for Drake. What up, world? Your boy Challz Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit notification bell. Keep sending those Cashaps to CLBMG. Join the membership gang. Listen, now I know that there are various different nuances to these two different lawsuits between J. Cole and Camron versus the lawsuit of Drake and UMG. I know that there are varying different circumstances, and I'm going to get into the differences. But when I peel back the layers, first and foremost, before we get started, to the people that want me to get to the point already, I'm going to get to the point. I'm going to get to all the grown man things to consider. I'm going to get to the corporate versus the street level things that we need to talk about in regards to Camron suing J. Cole over this verse that he did or did not receive. But I'm going to say, when you peel back the layers, these are two millionaires suing for what literally is pocket change. Let's just be honest. It has to be more to the story. This has to be a, I'm going to spank you or teach you a lesson type of thing, or I'm going to put this out into the world for whatever reason. But at the end of the day, Camron literally suing for a verse that he got allegedly a handshake for. I'm going to do a verse for you. You do a verse for me. And then come on my podcast. That's some stuff that stays between you and him, gang. Let's just be honest. I know I didn't watch a lot of different YouTubers reacting to this, but I did watch a few, and some guys are saying that they like that Camron is doing this the mature way. So, end of the day, it's not about, to me, it being mature or immature, or it being business or street. Now, when you first see it, you're saying, yes, Camron is doing it the business way. He's not doing it the street way. It could get violent. First of all, no one's going to do anything to J. Cole, so the violence thing is not going to happen. Camron's not going to do nothing. He's not going to send no goons. No one's going to hurt J. Cole. It makes no sense, especially over something like this, because you really just want the verse. Let's just be honest. He doesn't portray himself to be that kind of person, and you will be a lame for doing that. So, no, we're not going to even entertain the idea that Camron would have sent any level of goons, right, to do anything to J. Cole. So let's just start there. The street stuff wasn't even ever an option. But the option of he could have dissed him, right, made a diss record, or took it to wax, or took it to the podcast and said whatever and clowned him for a half an hour. All of that could have happened, but he chose to go the legal route. And I know some of you are applauding Camron. To me, it's kind of weird, because I'm going to be honest. I thought about this from both sides, and I linked both. Before I made this video, I linked both ways. And my first instincts was to get on some grown man shit, say, yo, that's good that he's, I ain't gonna say it's good, but if you're going to choose the lesser of two evils, and you're going to say, okay, technically, according to Camron, J. Cole owes him money, right? According to Camron, J. Cole owes him money in the scheme of things. They agreed to swap verses, and J. Cole didn't do his part, right? So you would say, let's start doing things in a grown-up way, taking it to litigation and this, that, and the third. Now, that's the only time you're going to hear me defend this lawsuit. Because what I'm going to do at that point is I'm going to say, first things first, you guys are rappers. And you are rappers talking about rap. You just made a rap negotiation, a spit in the handshake. We're going to do verses and swap these dope-ass rap verses. Camron admittedly doesn't do many verses himself. So you're going to sue a man for not getting you back a verse that's fast enough? J. Cole is in album mode, allegedly, or in chill out mode. Either way, he's not ready to do the verse. I'm not here to defend J. Cole. What I'm going to say is, yes, Camron has every right to sue, because J. Cole did allegedly, according to Camron, which he would have to prove to what level this agreement was agreed upon. But let's just say they hands shook and they was like, yo, get on this track and I'm going to get on yours, or I'm going to come on your podcast. First things first. J. Cole don't want to do nobody's podcast after this battle. This record was allegedly hand shook on before this battle, before the might delete later and all that stuff came out. This was before that. Ain't nowhere in the world you getting J. Cole on no podcast in 2025, 2024, or 2025, or 2026. Because the very first question you're going to ask him is, why'd you do it? Why'd you make a diss record and apologize? He ain't answering that to nobody right now, right? He done made 2 records discussing it. He ain't trying to talk about that no more. So you're not getting him on the It Is What It Is podcast for you and Mace to pull out a bucket of popcorn and start laughing at him, right? So he not coming on there. First things first. You may guarantee and say, we're not going to embarrass you, but you can't really say what you're going to say and do based on his answers. You don't know how the thing going to go. So, no, he's not coming on your podcast. Now, you're asking him for the verse that you said you was going to get. Why you need a J. Cole verse so bad is beyond me, because I don't even know if Camron's putting out any type of album or anything. So what you need the verse so bad that you're going to sue for it. So this is what I want to say. As to rappers, right? And you're going to say, it's going to be people in my comments, Challz, Camron's not a rapper. He's a brand now. He's a businessman. This is how things are handled in business legally. Well, he ain't talking about no business stuff. He's talking about rapping with him. Now, I know that's going to lead to money, and he's saying that it's worth $500,000. Man, listen, right now, Camron and J. Cole can carry around a knapsack with $500,000, lose the knapsack, and be very well off. So suing for $500,000 for a song or might delete later, you're estimating that's what it's worth. A judge not going to give you that. But at the end of the day, let's say that's what it's worth. Both of you have that. So you going to court, you're going to spend that suing the guy, right? So both of you going to court you're supposed to be cool. Right? Allegedly, we got video footage of you both in the studio, both saying we're going to work and get this done, right? There's 100% no reason for this to be in the public eye, especially in a court of law, right? Didn't we clown Dame Dash for dropping a lawsuit on Camron for defamation? Allegedly, we knew it was garbage. We knew it wasn't a real lawsuit. I told you that. I said it ain't on no legal letterhead. Dame Dash does not have a lawsuit against Camron. What was it, $300 million? Or 30 million, 300 million, one of the other, some weird shit. I said, Dame Dash that was just for engagement. Dame Dash does not have a lawsuit. But what did Camron say? Camron said, I'm tapping out after this lawsuit situation because it was cool, it was goofy, and it was corny, it was goony goo goo. Camron was like, okay, now you're getting ridiculous. I'm going to go ahead and move on, right? To turn around 2 months later and to initiate his own lawsuit against J. Cole. Let's talk about it. What's he talking about? I offered him, he shook a handshake, and I'm supposed to get a verse from him. After he got the verse from me and put it on, might delete later, and they used the Dipset. It's a recreation of a Dipset. So Cam feeling the way, right? And he's feeling like the only way he can respond or get his reciprocation is to take it to court. Well, let's just say this, Cam. For one thing, the first thing, the money you're suing for, you don't even need that money. I know you're gonna say, Challz, how you count his pockets? For you to put your name out here in this space of hip hop as the guy who's suing over a verse, you don't need that money, gang. I'm just gonna be honest. You're suing a rapper over a verse that he didn't get yet. Now, we know that some of these rappers take a long time to get these verses. I've never heard nobody suing over I didn't get the verse yet. Right? It's not something we do in hip-hop. So I'm going to keep the same energy, right? I know a lot of people I'm not going to be one of these guys that flipping and bouncing, and because it's Cam, I'm going to start being like trying to make like, oh, okay, well, it's more of a business thing. And it's very different from Drake's lawsuit. It's very different. I'm not even going to sit here and give the Drake fans the ammunition to be like, yo, you're flipping the script. No, it's different from Drake, but I'm keeping the same energy because the simple fact of the matter is this is some hip hop. If you got a problem, I can see if you're a struggling artist. No, gang, this dude Camron's a millionaire. He's a millionaire. First things first, he's not going to get the money because there was no time limit on the verse to be delivered. Okay? There was no time limit on the verse to be delivered. You said either come on my podcast or give me the verse. There was no timetable. So right there, you're going to have a tough time proving that in court. Let's just be honest. J. Cole lawyer's going to eat this shit for lunch. Okay? So let's start there. But at the end of the day, when I'm looking at this situation, this is a rapper going into a courtroom for an issue with another rapper over a verse. There's a million ways you could have handled this, and I know people gonna be like, Challz, he tried to reach out, J. Cole's ignoring him, da-da-da. Well, guess what? Then you don't get your verse. I don't know what to tell you, gang. There's a lot of people who don't deliver verses in time. I never seen nobody sue nobody over no verse. I ain't see Travis Scott sue nobody. I ain't see Pusha T. I didn't see Pharrell. I didn't see nobody. NBA Youngboy, Kodak Black, Birdman, Lil Wayne. I've never seen. You can tell me in the comments if somebody sued for a verse they didn't get. This is hip hop. We handshake all the time. My G, I did a verse for you. Da da da. Where's my verse? That's all you listen. 100 texts later, 100 calls later, you still ain't get your verse. You chalk it up. You move on. In hip hop, we're not going to court over no verse. Bottom line. And I know he's a brand. He's an entity. He's a corporate. He's a corporation at this point. Is what it is a very valuable corporate. Well, guess what? This is not an affront to your corporate brand. Him not doing a verse isn't hurting you and Mace's platform. It ain't hurting your next album. This is a handshake deal, a back alley deal that you two had a personal, private agreement on. Now you're going to try to sue the brother? Camron? I'm about to this some third base. This is the gas face, gang. You get the gas face right now. I'm gonna be honest, and I know it's gonna be people in my comments saying, Challz, what's he supposed to do? Well, it's not like this guy's sitting around and can't eat because he don't have this specific verse, right? And J. Cole, let's just be honest, J. Cole is a pleaser. So he probably shook his hand and said it because he didn't want to be confrontational. Okay? And he got the Camron verse. Like, let's be honest, these people will use you for what they can get you for. Okay? So let's say he got the Camron verse over the Dipset beat. Voila. That's what I wanted. I got it. He put it on the Might Delete later. I don't even know if that really even came out as a project. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't, right? Camron don't know what that thing made or didn't make. But at the end of the day, right, it came out and he deleted the, like I'm talking about on yeah, it came out. It did. I'm bugging out. But it came out on DSPs, this, that, and the third. Camron is guesstimating what is worth, this, that, and the third now. Because he put the verse on there and now he feels like he owes them, right? Well, end of the day, you know a lot of these rappers, Jay-Z, Kendrick, these guys, a lot of these guys, you can't pay them. The verse is priceless. They don't take a dollar amount, right? And I get it, Camron's about his paper, about his money, da-da-da. Well, if you're trading verses for trade-offs, how can you put a dollar amount on it at this point now? You said, if I trade a verse with you, we gonna swap verses. That's what these rappers do. Most of them don't take a cash payment. Most of these rappers are so well off, they don't need you to put a dollar amount on. You can't, because then you can stop buying them. Well, I got a verse. I need another verse. I need 4 verses. Give me 10 verses. I need a whole album. Like, if the verse from somebody who values their voice, they don't necessarily put dollar amounts on these verses if they like you, if you cool. So what you did was you did a swap. The verse has no monetary value. You can't switch it now 2-3 years later talking about it has a certain dollar amount because he made $500. So if he would have did the verse for you, how much would your verse be worth then? If he would have gave you the verse he wanted or came in the podcast, which was the deal, that wasn't the deal. The deal was never monetary. The deal was never, it cost this much, but I'm going to waive that. I'm almost certain that J. Cole told you, and I think we at the point where Jay had said, Cole had said he wasn't even doing no more features at that time. I think somebody got him out of retirement around that time we're talking. He had said his last feature was some shit. What was it? I don't even know. He came back out. He came back because he came back with Benny the Butcher on Johnny P's Caddy. But at one point, Cole was tired of features. So I'm just curious as to what point you did this handshake deal, this Hawk 2 spit in the palm and did a deal. I'm trying to figure out what year it was. Let me read this. Camron sues J. Cole for allegedly not honoring agreement after their Ready 24 collab. The Dipset rapper says Cole didn't deliver on his commitment to the collaboration or podcast appearance. Camron is suing J. Cole over this song. According to the court documents reviewed by Complex, Camron claimed he contributed lyrics to a verse to the track, which appeared on Cole's 2024 mixtape Might Delete later, in exchange for Cole's alleged promise to either collaborate with him on another project or appear on Camron's podcast. Cam claimed that after the song was recorded in 2022, Cole failed to follow through on his commitment over the next 2 years, repeatedly saying he was unavailable for the podcast and never moving forward with another collaboration. The court documents Note that Cole allegedly offered to collaborate with Cam on songs that he had already recorded, but Cam wanted to partner on an original piece that never materialized. Right there, you put the stipulations. When you did the Hawk to a Spit handshake deal, did you say this got to be an original song that we do together in the studio, or did you say just give me a verse? That's going to be very touchy in the courtroom, because it says that he'd offered to get on something you already got done. But you're putting constraints on it. No, we can't be something I already got. I need you to come in here. We're going to sit down together in the studio. We're going to eat banana bread, and we're going to suck on lollipops, and we're going to make a track together that sound like me and you, right? Sound like we're friends and buddies. You can't mail this verse in, Cole, is what he's trying to say. So I need you here, me, you, and Mace. We're going to get in the studio, and if Mace like it, he can jump on it. Then it is what it really is, right? But he said that this is telling, Cam already told him himself that Cole said, I'll do something that you already got recorded. Just send it. Right there, that's a sticky point in court. That's a sticky point in court. That handshake deal don't cover all these different twists and turns, right? Camron also contended that he hasn't been properly compensated for his part on Ready 24 and asked the judge to recognize him as a co-author of the track. The New York rapper wants a full accounting of the song's earning, which he believes exceeds $500,000. All of that's reasonable. Credit me, which I don't know why he's not. Why is he not credited? Start there. Why is he not credited as a co-writer? That should have been done from day one in the first place. Okay, but handshake or not, he is a co-writer. So I don't know why he's not credited. The judge will give you that. I don't know about the $500K. You're going to have to dispute. That's going to be a real long time. That's a lot of years of accounting and saying, okay, this is worth that, da-da-da. A lot of bean counters going to get involved. They're just not going to hand over $500,000, gang. They're not going to do that. It's going to be a long fight. I think Camron is making a mistake. He's hurting his legacy with this one, because let's just be honest, when you peel back the layers, and I know this is how business gets done, and when you're a brand, when you're a corporation, you're supposed to go and sue, take litigation. This is not over a branding issue. This is two rappers that promised to work together. When you do that, this is on some hip-hop shit. And I gotta keep it a buck. This is just as lame as Drake shit. I'm just going to be honest. I know it's not the same. I know it's more. It is way more validity to this. It's way more business. But when you peel back the layers, what's the business? You guys shook on a verse. You shook. Let's just put it like this. Let's just put it like this. Camron's not losing anything. You didn't lose anything. You're just not getting your verse. There is no reason to give you $500,000 because you didn't want that in the first place. You wanted your verse, right? You wanted your verse. In hip-hop, the dude didn't get your verse. You didn't get his verse. Well, you see him when you see him, right? What happened when Diddy saw the Drake at the strip club? After Drake did that, after Drake brought out, what was 0200, whatever song. I could hit Diddy on that too. But whatever song him and Diddy was supposed to do, Diddy didn't sue him. Diddy caught him at the strip club. Not saying he got to do nothing violent. Diddy's violent. Diddy's violent. Camron could just, Cole, bro, what's going on, da-da-da. But in my opinion, and I'm going to keep it the same energy. I don't like taking niggas. I don't like him taking him to court. I don't like it because you're making the precedent now that for the slightest of things, we just rush into court. Right? A dude could be being polite. Yo, let's do it, da-da-da. Right? He could have just been like, yo, I want you for this verse. And then this is the elephant in the room. Dude might not be creatively feeling whatever you're talking about. He might not want to do the verse. Right? Now, we get it that he went and did, he did some, listen, what was that, Grippy or some shit like that? That was a terrible look. And J. Cole, it's like he's running to these youngsters that's really trash and doing these really awful verses and, awful features to some of these records he shouldn't be on. But that's neither here nor there. And I'm not here to defend Cole. What I'm trying to tell you is on some hip-hop shit, I'm going to keep it hip-hop. And hip-hop, we don't go to the courtroom for no verse. Right? End of the day, you got to be like, listen, Bro burnt me on that verse. I didn't get it. It is what it is. I don't know. At the end of the day, we're not talking about a guy that's sitting out here begging for change, gang. This dude Camron makes a lot of money, gang. So in my opinion, there's no reason to go and try to. You both got a lot of money. I don't see why you're going to go and try to take this man to court for money that you really wasn't looking for in the first place. Because if you wanted money out of this, then you would have never gave him the verse in the first place without an exchange of cash. You can't flip it into money because you didn't get your way. It's, it is what it is. That's just, it's not going to change my opinion. We can talk about this shit for hours. It ain't going to change my opinion, Cam. I'm just going to be honest, right? I did a show. I told you, I was a promoter for 15, probably 18 years. I did a show with Camron. Camron never showed up. We did a show. The place was packed, right? A-Rap Music was there. He came through, walked around the whole venue. He was rocking with Camron at that time, right? It's a fact. I have a video that I talked about this. Camron, it was 15 minutes of the place closed down. Camron was jerking around the promoters on the phone all night. Do this, do that, da-da-da-da. He never showed up. These guys paid him. He never came. Never, right? End of the day, that's not the same because that's a business transaction that you didn't show up to. You got paid to do. It wasn't a handshake, but things happen, right? I went years trying to figure out, like, let's just be honest. Tell me what happened. Why Camron did da-da-da. There's a lot of rumors, this, that, and the third, which I'm not going to get into. But at the end of the day, Camron was supposed to show up to a show. We almost got the shit beat out of us. That mob almost went crazy, right? A few people start throwing chairs. They started a little fight, but they squashed it. They start throwing dudes down the stairs. It is what it is. But they was handing people their money back at the door, which they took a beating on because everybody in there they didn't pay to get in there. So everything don't always happen when you think it's going to happen, right? Now, I don't know what they did, this, that, and the third, but what I'm saying is Camron has been in a situation where Camron said he's going to do this and didn't do it. It happens, gang. It happens. We just gave her, the venue gave everybody their money back and we had to get up out of there, right? But it was pretty hairy, gang. I'm just going to be honest. So, end of the day, right? Camron, this is hip-hop. Sometimes people don't show up to the venue. Sometimes they don't do what they say they're going to do, right? If you're supposed to be friends and you're doing a hop to spit handshake, sometimes he ain't going to get you the verse when you want it. It is what it is, Cam. I'm going to leave it at that, man. CLBMG. Let me know what you think in the comments. I feel like, okay, we wanted to do the verse. I didn't get the verse. Oh, shucks. Fuck this motherfucker. It is what it is. Well, I'm not drawing up paperwork to sue you over no verse. I'm sorry. I know there's going to be some people that don't take that approach whatsoever. Camron should sue him. Da-da-da. Because for whatever reason, I disagree. I'm never going to be a hip-hop. Yes, it's going to be instances. It's a lot of instances where you should sue. These corporations, yes, you should sue. Get your money, da-da-da-da. Right? But I feel like if you're both supposed to be, you're cool, and you're supposed to be working organically, then let it be organic. You can't sue them into giving you a verse. And on that note, I'm out of here. CLBMG. Head on over to black-yeti.com. Let them know let them know who sent you. They ship all over the continent to US. Also, every Wednesday night, we go live on the What Show. We will be discussing this. Me, TJ, and Fliz. And my Patreon about to go up real soon. I'm going to keep y'all posted, all right? I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side, man. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine.
Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.
Get my coat, get my sheepskin, grab my wallet, get my pocket knife, and get that hat right there. We out. Grab my pocket knife too. Let's go. When I first came to the city, niggas didn't believe me. I just wanted to join a team and throw assist pass easily. 6 man off the bench, alley-oop pass freely. Suit up for one game and hope a scout might see me. But nah, niggas is greedy, wasn't rocking with him. Unplugged the scoreboard, put a lock on the gym. Told me to power forward, point guard at the rim. And left me with no center and a ball full of phlegm. Not knowing that I'm a dog, a Rottweiler within. With the heart of a pit bull that don't bark for pretend. My bites cut deep, break the bone and the skin with the level of hustlenomics you do not comprehend. So first, I took a block down on the west side end, and then secured a spot with some goons and some kin, and then sent out some flyers, let the games begin. And in 6 months' time, the city like that's him. Oh yeah, he the one that moved the hustle to the burbs, and yeah, he the one that knocked the hustlers off the curb, and yeah, he the one that set up shop without a word, and he the one that got it cracking, and all he did was rapping by the Hooters. I kept killers from being shooters. Put a mic in a thug's hand, now he loyal like past fans. Take a man off the streets past the needles and crack cans. Promise mama to keep him safe, then put some food in his face, and he'll kill for you. But I don't need him for that. Click like, click share. Tell them bitches we back. Share the whole location. Tell them niggas where we at. Cause we out here and we ain't the cheese, we the trap.